Once you get a fuck buddy relationship, how do you keep it? I'm going to talk about that coming up next. What's good, everyone? Mario here. In this video, I'm going to share with you tips for how to keep a fuck buddy relationship. So in other videos, I've created sort of a small playlist for fuck buddies, rules, don'ts, how to get a fuck buddy. But in this video, we're going to be focusing on how to keep a fuck buddy relationship. So I'm going to give you 7 behaviors that are really important for you to maintain a fuck buddy relationship, whether you're male or female. But first, let me remind you that if you're not fully satisfied with your current dating or your online dating experiences, I invite you to join one or both of my free online academies that send out free weekly videos designed to help you level up your dating game. And sign up is super easy, takes seconds, and you can do so by clicking the link in the description or the card for this video. All right, so let's get into it. Keeping a fuck buddy relationship, that's just as important as getting into a fuck buddy relationship. So now that you found it, how do you keep it? Understand, a fuck buddy relationship isn't for forever. No relationship is for forever, but especially a fuck buddy relationship. It's like a season in your life, in a season in your life where it's just not a priority, and you're just seeking simple sexual activity. You don't want the dating sort of thing going on because you're not interested in them like that, or you don't have the time for it or desire for it at this time, or maybe you want to focus on work, whatever it is. You're not always gonna be in the season for true relationships of commitment and dating. That's okay. That's okay. And if you're in the season for a fuck buddy relationship, by all means, you're not the only one. So let's talk about keeping that. Starting with number 1, the very first thing that you need to keep a fuck buddy relationship is you need to hold up your end of the bargain, and you need to be keeping up the great sex. All right, so you can't expect a fuck buddy relationship to continue if you're not holding up your end of the deal with great sex. So that's not to say that you have to be like an all-star in bed every time, doing everything and making somebody just have the time of their life every time. But you can't be slipping up on the job and just being average and below average consistently. You won't last long. So you need to kind of treat this as if it's a trial basis. And if you're not doing a good job at performing, there's someone that will willingly take your spot and do it better and give it more effort. So if you want to keep your spot, don't fuck it up with bad sex. All right. Number 2, be dependable. This is something that you can do. All right. You just need to be able to do what you say. So it's as simple as, like show up when you say you're supposed to. If you're making plans for Saturday, show up on Saturday. Don't cancel at the last minute. That's what you have to do in a fuck buddy relationship. Your best ability is availability. It's kind of like sports. So understand that. Keep your word. Do what you say. Be dependable, because you could be the world's best lover. You could be the most amazing man or woman in bed. But if somebody can't count on you to come through and handle their needs at that time, as agreed upon, then you're not as valuable. All right. Being dependable is huge. Number 3, make it a positive experience so that people associate when you come over or when they come over to see you, that it's a positive experience. And that doesn't have to be just sexual. It could be just like the energy that you have. You could be just, a good example is like, if you're a calm, chill, positive person, and that they just enjoy spending some time with you, and you have sex, but they also just feel like you're not drama, you're very accepting, you're welcoming, you're open-minded, you're chill. It's basically a pretty good experience for them to be around you for whatever amount of time, even though it's just sexual. There's other stuff that goes on beyond sex that just makes them feel comfortable, at ease, making them feel like after they're done, that they feel better than had they not been around you. So consider that. That can come through sex, through energy, or even your conversation, right? Number 4, I want you to maintain respect for the other person. So kind of dependability is kind of showing respect for their time and their schedule. Well, also you want to just find little ways to show people that you respect them still. So, whatever you're doing in the bedroom, you still respect them. Whatever sort of relationship that you two are, basically having a fuck buddy relationship, that you can still have respect for them. It's not like you look at them as like, oh, you're just a fuck buddy. They want to know that fuck buddy's pretty all right by me. I respect a fuck buddy. I respect a fuck buddy relationship. That's something that you have to display and project so that someone else can believe it and someone else can return it to you. All right. If someone is feeling that they need respect for a fuck buddy relationship, it starts with you because you can't control it from them. But what you can do is project that from yourself. And if you believe it, that makes it so much easier for someone else to believe. So what you want to know is that you need to kind of lead in showing that respect and showing not just the respect for them, but the fuck buddy relationship. It's okay. It's all right. It's normal. And I appreciate it. And it's very valued. Okay. Now, next thing you have to do is maintain your messaging. And I said messaging and not communication because in your messaging, that includes communication, yes, but let's talk about texts and say phone calls. With a fuck buddy, you're going to have to maintain your messaging. That means you can't fall off the end of the world and not communicate with them. You can't not text and you can't not call. But what should you be doing? You should be maintaining your messaging, meaning you don't venture into outside or not even you don't want to be affected by like messaging like you're dating. So you don't want to escalate the messages of texts or phone calls to that of say somebody pursuing a dating relationship or something really serious. Um, you want to keep it simple. So if it's just about being fuck buddies, then you don't text each other 15 times a day. You don't have long phone calls. You set things up and you kind of just keep it simple. Hey, like if you message or you call, it's mostly about connecting, setting up, schedule, whatever. But it's not going to be a whole lot of what are you doing? How's your day going? Glad to see you're doing well. It's not a romantic dating sort of relationship. So keep it separate. Make it a fuck buddy relationship. All right, keep it simple because a lot of people out there, may not want to believe it, but even men and women, especially women, you might be thinking like, oh, well, they want me to talk to them all the time. No, a lot of them want a fuck buddy relationship because they want the same things that men or anyone else would want from a fuck buddy relationship. They want to be fucking left alone the rest of the time. But once in a while, when they call you up or they message you or you guys connect, that it's sexual and it's pleasing for both parties and they feel rejuvenated, refreshed, they love the experience. But you just need to understand that everybody can have that sort of desire for simplicity. Don't take it away because you're assuming because someone is a female or because you don't want to come off as whatever that you need to kind of pretend like it's more or act like it's going to be more. Keep it simple. Trust me, in more cases than not, people will appreciate that and it's a better, safer strategy rather than behaving and leading somebody on with non fuck buddy sort of behaviors and actions. Okay, which kind of leads me into the next one. Your behaviors as a fuck buddy relationship, you need to make sure that they maintain, a fuck buddy relationship. So if we're thinking about a fuck buddy relationship, it's almost like we're in a little box. This is our area, and we don't want to go outside of it. So do we want to have like dating type activities with a fuck buddy? No. Do we want to meet the friends? No. Do we want to be going out for drinks? No. Maybe you won't do that at first when you meet them so that they feel safe and get to know you. But this isn't an activity that you have with a fuck buddy. A fuck buddy, your activity is sex. It's not friendship. It's not going out. It's not having dinners. It's not having drinks. It's not meeting the friends. So keep it at fuck buddy activities and just be smart with your behaviors, okay? Be smart with your behaviors. Don't give people the wrong message, okay? Number 7, you have to maintain your honesty. Let people know where you're at, because there's seasons for having a fuck buddy relationship. You're going to be feeling it, and then other times you're going to have to let it end. And sometimes you just have to let people know, like, the honest part might be that, hey, yeah, right now I'm just just actually I'm not even really seeing anyone else, but that's just kind of unintentional. You can say these things. You can tell somebody it's unintentional, but it's just I'm just, like you're the only person I'm having sex with right now. Or you might have to tell somebody like, hey, like right now it's just us, but it's just sexual. So I mean, I can't always say that it'll just be us. You have to be honest with somebody. You have to let them know that, hey, um, even if we're fuck buddies, like don't assume that it's just you and me having sex. Don't assume that I have feelings because we're having sex. You have to let people know that, hey, this is how I operate. If we're fuck buddies, my feelings and desire for a relationship don't coincide with me fucking you. Okay, so just understand that. So there's this level of honesty that you have to let people know, and also you have to let people know if you are developing feelings. You have to let them know things like, hey, this is amazing what we have, but lately I've been kind of just thinking about maybe having more with you. Um, you can't hold on to those feelings either way. You need to let people know in a fuck buddy relationship if you're developing feelings, or if you're losing the desire to have sex with them, or if they ask you, if someone were to ask you, "Hey, am I the only one that you're fucking?" You need to be honest and just be like, "Well, right now, yeah." Or right now, yeah, but it won't always be like that. Or right, you could tell them, "Well, no, you're not the only person." You just have to be honest, okay? That's what people are looking for. They don't want the right answers. I know a lot of times that's the mistake that people give. They want to give the right answer. There's no right answer when you're having a fuck buddy relationship other than the honest truth. And that means telling somebody, yeah, you're not the only one. If you're asked, a lot of times people need to understand that's already the case. But if you're kind of put on the spot and asked, you need to answer that one without any hesitation and being very honest and unapologetic. Okay. So understand that. And there we have 7 tips. I'm going to leave you with one more. I want you to understand that part of having a fuck buddy relationship maintained is not trying to make it last forever. All right. So it's like if you hold on to it tightly or if you try and make it stay forever, that's when it falls apart. And when you're not holding on to it tightly and when you're not just trying to make it work, that's when it does work. All right. And you need to understand that if you have this understanding of it's not going to be for forever anyway, and that's natural, then you're going to feel comfortable having a fuck buddy the right way, and at times that's going to mean that you walk away from a situation because you're not invested in it anymore, or not like the other person, or maybe they're developing feelings, or you're starting to see signs that they can't handle it anymore, or just the fuck buddy relationship is just, it's meeting its end naturally, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but you're eventually going to go different ways. You just want to be the type of person who, if you have a fuck buddy relationship, is okay leading with breaking things off. Okay, that is my advice. I'm telling you how to maintain it, but you're also going to maintain it by knowing that you can break it off, knowing when it's time to break it off, and knowing that you can break it off. It's weird. I'd love to tell you that, like, oh yeah, you're just gonna be having this fuck buddy relationship for forever, but you won't. And one of the things that's gonna be most powerful is behaving and being in a place where you don't expect it to last for forever and where you're okay with letting somebody go. When you're okay with letting somebody go, then you're it just works out that people respect your honesty, they respect what you bring to the table, and they respect you even after a breakup, or not even a breakup, but a breakup of your fuck buddy relationship. And you can always maybe more likely to be able to return to it should you desire to, if you do it the right way. So there you have it. Some important tips that I feel that you all need to know about how to keep a fuck buddy relationship. But it's a whole lot of being a big boy, being a big girl, facing people, addressing problems head on. And if you want a relationship unlike what most people have, you're gonna have to, behave and act in accordance to achieve that. So don't expect to do the same things that you've done in other relationships. You're gonna have to be a little bit more upfront, take some actions that a lot of us are uncomfortable with, but they pay off if your desire is for a fuck buddy relationship and not just a friendship and not a romantic dating sort of relationship. It's just done a different way. These are some of my thoughts that I know can help you. If you have other thoughts or comments about how to keep a fuck buddy relationship, by all means, put those in the comments. I'd love to read them, and so would other people. As always, we'll see you in the next video. You all take care. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content from this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And male or female, if you're not satisfied with your dating or online dating experience, I invite you to join one or both of our free academies. We have Get Game Group Academy and Get Game Group Online Dating Academy, both of which send out free weekly videos designed to help you up your game.